What is up, guys? This is the Casa Gurrya podcast. Today, I'm your host, Alex, and we have Don.
Yo, what up?
Got Love Go.
Hello.
We have Liquid.
What's going on, guys?
We have Lord Ahmad.
Happy to be here, folks. Happy to be here.
And we have Amr.
Yo, what's up?
Today, we're going to be doing our usual lineup of games, shows, animes, movies, and tech. We're going to be starting off with games, and although it's not that popular at the moment, we're going to be talking about EA and Respawn hiring a anti-cheat manager for Apex Legends.
People are really cheating that much?
Yeah.
I actually thought that was really funny, honestly. Like the way that even the way the job posting was set up, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, it just came out of the blue. I remember seeing it on
Dude,
Reddit.
Honestly, I really hope that they like have a lot more like gaming like roles like coming out like that in the future. Like I think it's great for gaming. I mean, gaming is like the fastest growing industry like in the world right now, just because it makes so much money.
It has been.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about
anyways.
that?
Anyway,
About the anti-cheat manager.
recently, cheating has been a big thing since the release of the game, but now they added with season 2, which came out July 2nd, they came out with ranked mode, which obviously is going to want to have people hacking and
camping.
if you've seen live streams or even videos, some of the top players like at the higher ranks, which is Apex Predator, the highest rank, there's obvious cheaters all over the place.
Okay, so is it more like aimbot or are they actually like hacking the game?
Aimbot.
Okay.
The first time the hacking came out, it had to do with you could actually force people to join your lobby. You could join other people's lobbies by force. You could pull them out of their game. You could do all types of shit. It was like server manipulation.
Damn.
So it's really good that this is coming out because it's going to secure the remaining player base, honestly, and maybe make it grow even more.
Why are they so late on that?
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. Is did they not have kind of a anti-cheat and/or network security team
They
leader
do.
beforehand?
The current anti-cheat that they use is, I think it was called Easy Anti-Cheat.
Oh, so basically more of just automated or automation
Yes.
across the board,
Right.
and now
Right,
they're picking
yes.
up a physical person. Okay.
Hopefully, man. I've been playing this a lot. I haven't seen any hackers. Probably I'm not going to see them in my rank. But the day I do, that's going to be annoying.
Garbage.
Hey, you shut your mouth.
Wait, I thought they didn't even have
Alex.
an anti-cheat.
Although-
this takes me back to our combat arm days. You remember that?
I'm the best.
You remember the what were we doing back in the day? It was the auto headshots.
I don't remember, honestly. Speaking
We
of
were really
ranked,
bad.
in that event, we got Splatoon 2 with the I choked it already. With the final Splatfest. Chaos
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Order. So whoop.
We won.
That was
that.
an amazing event. What was it, 4 days compared to the 2 that we usually get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I upped my game. I learned a lot from that event, and honestly, it was just because we had a tangible goal. You had, it was do or die. You wanted to make history, and we did. We came out on top. I'm proud of all of us. Me and Liquid were teaming up quite a bit throughout Splatfest. It was pretty cool.
You know who I'm not
enjoyed
proud
it
of,
a
though?
lot.
My back was.
I'm not proud of Alex. He lost 2 100 times battles.
Bro, I
Hey,
had
look,
the
it didn't
most
count, okay?
What
Hey,
do you
me
mean
and,
it didn't count?
No, me and Liquid got 10x.
I think I won like 10
10.
of those. But I really only had time to play Thursday, and then after that, I worked the whole week.
I honestly was really disappointed that we didn't get a chance to play with you, Caesar.
We
Yeah,
didn't
I
need
know.
him.
Yeah,
Um,
right. That's why you
with-
lost those
that-
2 100-time battle matches.
With the amount
Okay.
with the amount of people,
Even
that
even
I-
Love Go won a match. for that, dude.
Yeah, I had the most help.
What did you guys think of the
Hell no, you
Splatfest
didn't.
maps?
I had like 550,000.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah,
See it?
I got over $500,000.
Take a picture.
It's too late now. You can't see it.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
With
it's
the
over,
amount
it's
of
gone.
people joining, or I imagine it looked like most people picked Team Chaos anyways.
Yeah, they did.
Everyone notices a lot of the Chaos members were pretty bad.
Yeah, they were.
And
Oh,
I'm
my
not
back
saying
was
that
going
we,
the whole
but-
entire time.
Okay,
I'm not saying
but-
we're god tier or anything, but
it was pretty even.
I'm pretty
and
god
it
tier.
came out pretty close, though. It came out pretty close, and it was really even amongst popularity. Chaos had a little bit more people, but
Chaos
it
had
was really-
it was like about a
was
9%
like-
difference for the popularity vote. In terms of the casual and the pro play, it was only like about a percentage or so.
Yeah, 1 to 2%.
It was really
it
close.
Mog, what
stupid
you have
close.
to understand is that it's always every Splatfest, they've always been close. I think this
Well,
might have been the biggest difference between
was-
both of them.
It was really hard to get matches though, like towards like even in the middle of the night, like it was really hard to get matches because so many people were playing. It was ridiculous. So many people were taking part. But what like I did ask this question and didn't get answered. But what did you guys think about the Splatfest matches, or not the the maps?
Let me
the
bring
new
that up real
maps.
quick. I wanted to talk about that. So previously, and all the other, Splatfest prior to this, it was always 2 normal maps and 1 Splatfest map, and it would rotate. This time, we got, I think, 2 normal maps and 2 Splatfest maps. Correct me if I'm wrong, and it would rotate all the time, and that was amazing. I think the last map we got was the one where there's like what is it, like light posts that you can destroy, and towards the middle of the map, towards the middle of the match, at the middle of the map, there's a beam that you can step on, and Pearl slowly comes down. And if you claim that area and activate her, she will activate her. I don't know what it's called. Her big speaker.
The megaphone.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
megaphone.
Sonic Blast.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, like,
huge laser beam,
we-
and it's so
I-
cool.
I didn't even
Yeah, I
see
like
it.
that map
We-
too.
That map was on the final Splatfest.
No, I'm talking about the last day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
on the
it was
last day. Yeah, I
the
remember playing on it.
skate park map.
I think there was like more than one new Splatfest stage. I think they had them in rotations. I'm not too sure, but they had a lot of different ones because I know that there's people complaining about how they missed certain stages. So if you weren't playing at certain times, that means you missed
Yes.
this stage or that stage.
Yeah, it was
Man,
hard
I'm
for me to tell just because of, I don't know what stages are, just because of me being new to the game. I couldn't tell which stages are special and which are just normal that I haven't seen yet.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just really bummed out that this is the only Splatfest I'm gonna experience because I really did enjoy the entire thing.
Honestly,
I really liked
yeah, I feel the
the
same.
whole
And I
setup of it.
know
Hey.
Alex and
We tried to get you guys to play this like a long time ago.
Think-
yeah,
think of it
no,
this
you're right.
way.
I liked it more than I thought it would.
Think of it this way.
Um,
This final Splatfest was what?
It set the stage for the third game.
Yes. So we're gonna get a chaos theme. It's gonna be more or less, I would imagine, the same thing. There's probably gonna be drastic changes with the lobby, with everything, but for the
Well, what
most
do you
part,
mean?
well, I mean, chaos.
I think.
Well, I know,
between-
but
Chaos theme.
what could that possibly mean for the third game? What is that going to
Well,
be?
maybe
Story
most-
or setting or?
Marino was like
All two,
Marino was
both-
like
both.
Inkopolis is doomed.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
It's
I
pretty
mean-
wild. I'm looking forward to it though.
But
Put
Even
shot-
though Splatfest did end though, we are having our TOG next month in
that's gonna
Splatoon
be
2.
awesome.
Oh, this is gonna be my first
But
time.
Explosives,
the
man.
the biggest thing that came out of Splatfest for me was figuring out the build that I wanted and my play style, and figuring out finally how I want to go about things, especially playing competitively. And that the tangible goal, it really got me to step up my game and change my perspective on how to play the game. So I really
Okay.
thought that was really beneficial to like Splatfest in general is really beneficial to me really leveling up.
Before we move on from this subject, Alex, who do you think is gonna give us the biggest run for our monies? Well, I mean, besides me and you,
Hmm.
because
In
clearly,
the Splatoon TOG, it's
Yeah.
going to be Omar.
okay.
He has adapted to the brush really well.
I saw them peak strokes in our 2v4s.
Yep.
If he can, I guess, better his game knowledge, he will win most of his matches. Otherwise, I think it would go to Liquid.
Okay,
Oh,
that's a pretty good choice. I see someone isn't
I don't
too
know.
happy about that choice though.
I don't know.
well,
I
it's,
find
it's
myself
fun.
covering. I don't know. I find myself covering more ground and getting more points than Liquid sometimes, though.
Oh no, but these matches are more than likely not going to be turf war because we're going to be doing them in 1v1 setting.
It'll be splat zones.
Having my first
Oh,
ultimate is
yeah.
gonna be fun. Hmm.
Interesting.
I
Splat
doubt that,
zones.
honestly.
All right, now that we're done with the Splatoon talk, we
Wait,
can
we're
move
gonna
on
be
to.
wait. We're gonna be doing one-on-one splat zone specific, so I can start thinking of a strategy for taking.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Cool.
It should be that.
Now, Remnant of the Ashes. Have any of you seen that other than me and Liquid?
Never
I think
heard
I watched
of it.
a little bit of it.
A little bit, yeah. Not a lot.
It
I didn't
is
have a lot
a
of time.
third-person looter shooter survival, from what I can see. That's 3-player co-op or up to 3-player co-op.
Okay.
It gives me. I don't know if you guys can think of what I'm talking about, but it gives me the specific vibe. Like I've seen this game before.
Yeah, it's got
Deja-
certain familiar parts to it. I
No,
feel
not
like.
deja vu. It reminds me of something, but I cannot put my finger on it. I want to say The Hunt, but I don't think that's what it is.
Nah, it's because of kind of the slightly Western steampunkish apocalyptic feel.
But supposedly it's going to be this great looter shooter.
Yeah, man,
it
the new
sucks.
Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Ooh.
I will tell you, it sucks that it's only a max of 3 players.
Yeah.
But considering our party size, I don't think we'll be struggling too much as long as most people are interested.
Another question I had, and I always have for games like this, is any type of game that looks or has the semblance of an adventure game. The first question in my mind is not necessarily is it open world. I mean that's always something that I'd look into, but how big is it? How big
Yeah, how many repeats we're getting.
environmentally?
I don't want to be like, I don't mind I guess you could say biome to biome. I don't want to see the same things. Apex suffers from this, Fortnite suffers from this,
Mm-hmm.
PUBG, any I know I'm comparing battle royales, but
Yeah, I was gonna say
there's still supposed to be this huge map. It's supposed to be unique, and for the most part it's copy paste.
Well, sure, yeah, and that's one of the reasons so many companies jump on building battle royales is because they're cheap as hell to make. They're not resource intensive, they're not time intensive. So anytime you're dealing with a BR versus like I don't know other types of adventure games or RPGs, things like that, you can't really compare them resource wise. But I see your point about battle royales being I don't know copy paste or they feel like that, and that's
Very
honestly,
limited.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
watched
I
the
mean-
trailer for this. It looks fucking badass.
I will
dude.
tell you, there's a Twitch streamer called Professor Broman. He has played this. He likes it. Obviously, looter shooter, you expect one thing, and that's to be a good looter while being great at gameplay. If someone like this, that keep in mind, his main game is, I believe it's Destiny still.
Yes, it is.
So keep in mind, if he really does like it, it more than likely one of the better solutions to a looter shooter that we can get, or one of the better alternatives to a looter shooter that we can get. And I'm down. I don't know how much. I think it's $40 actually.
Not
I mean, that's the
bad.
thing. It'll depend on how it stacks up to something like Borderlands 3, for instance, in the looter shooter category.
Look, come on. You really think it'll stack up against Borderlands 3?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. You put them next to each other, realize that they are undoubtedly different projects. Like one of them is like a 3-person co-op type game, and the other one is an open world. Co-op capable, but no. I guess it's got full co-op integration. So yeah, that's why I wonder, like, how open world is it? How is it, like, as in terms of stacking up to something like one of its peers, like Borderlands 3? Does it have a really big open world that you can explore through?
Now, I will say this: the issue that I've seen in a lot of looter shooters, um, games in general that come as far as RPG, is the enemy variety. Destiny's a perfect example. From what I've seen, it looks like this game might have the same issue. Well, to me, it's an issue. Borderlands doesn't seem to have it too much, but still there.
I mean, there's a. This is one of those things where you try to, if you were to look at all of the enemies in the game, each different type of enemy and, how they're all categories, how they're all rendered and made and shit. I mean, a lot of people feel that Destiny suffers from the problem of too many reskins, too many rehashes of enemies, and I would say it does. But then again, with Borderlands, I don't think they have too much above and beyond other companies in that area. It's just one of the things within the industry. I think when developing, and you're trying to, you have a limited pool of resources that you can allot to any single area. Making not only new types of enemies with the different models and having obviously those models be good, but having the animations look good and having them be dynamic and varied in their behavior and AI and shit like that. That's time consuming. It's
I understand.
A resource intensive process. So that's why I feel like in general a lot of games suffer from that. But I just think we're expecting, I don't know, we're expecting an advancement in, I guess, that area that just doesn't exist yet, and or companies are not investing in it as much as we would like as gamers.
Yeah, you're right. Great games are always going to, or anything good is always going to make your expectations for future titles for anything really high.
Yeah, definitely.
We're done with Remnant, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to add.
I'm definitely gonna fucking check that shit out though.
$40. I think it's on. I think it's at pre-alpha. I can't. I'd have to check the store page. You can buy it now. Like I said, I don't remember if it's early access or not. So I never
this is
recommend.
Also another thing to look into, and this can always change, obviously, especially if it's as early as alpha or anywhere around there. Is besides the box price on the game costing $40, like, do they have any other avenues of monetization? Do you have a cash shop? Do you have just microtransactions in general? Do you have paid DLC? Anything like that?
You're right. It didn't look like it when I had looked it up yesterday, but you never know.
Right.
Okay, so it's a pre-purchase. So no info about microtransactions or anything like that yet. So it's just one of those things that we're gonna have to find out.
Yeah, and I wouldn't worry about it too much if it looks like they have a solid game, and always if you as a developer make me a solid game, then I will pay you, well for it.
All right, now that
Because
we're done with
I'll pay a
Remnant.
lot for a good game.
Oh, absolutely.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Overwatch. I know we have been kind of out of the loop. I've been playing a little bit on the PTR. The character called Sigma is out.
What's
That's
her
a
ability?
bad motherfucker right there.
I'll get to that. He has the strangest backstory. He has a very dark backstory. He's trying to control, what is it, gravity? It basically
I like
pulls
him already.
he basically pulls an interstellar where what would you say, Caesar? He kind of goes crazy and starts like warping between all these different I don't know if I would call it universes or
He's like on the verge of like shattering reality, and it just destroys him. I want to say it has to do something maybe with like parallel versions of him, and it just drives him insane.
All right,
I'm not
guys. Well,
too
I guess
sure.
I found my new main.
Dude,
he
he's
finds
fucking
composure. He composes himself, and he ends up joining Team Talon, which is the enemies. Now
It's all the cool
he
dude.
he is a tank, and he has he throws a portable shield like Reinhardt. It has 1,500 health, if I remember correctly. He has two little balls of fucking gravity, and he shoots both of them. They have their limited range. It's kind of hard to say what their range is. as a person who doesn't really play too much. You could shoot them. They'll ricochet off of things, so you could throw them on the floor. Like you remember Hanzo's multi-shot arrow, whatever it was called, scatter shot.
Yeah.
It'll do essentially that, except it'll go straight up. You could do it on a wall, anything like that. You could do some crazy things with it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dude is old though.
He has a shield matrix, man. You remember Diva? But instead of that, he throws like a little he holds like a little black hole, and he absorbs all damage. And that same damage that he absorbs will give him armor.
Oh, okay. You know what'd be cool though is
he-
if he could absorb like damage, all types of kinetic force, in that little gravity well,
Yeah.
handheld thing, and shoot it back out of people, kind of like a handheld Nova bomb.
That'd be fucking cool.
That would be cool.
Now he has one more skill. He collects like obviously gravity, collects all these rocks, puts them together and shoots it. The range is maybe I would say mid-range. It'll do a little bit of damage. I think it's 75 damage for Tracer. So you could kind of base it off of that. It's a hefty amount of damage, and it will knock you back a decent amount. So you can use that in maps. You can absolutely use that for any situation, but for maps that have pits, anything where you could fall off of, I could imagine that being really useful.
I'm gonna have to download the PTR and actually jump on and try it out.
Hey, dude, if you do,
There's
do it
actually
tonight.
something you forgot about that rock that they throw. If you shoot it up close, it won't really do much. But if you shoot it at a distance, it'll have a lot of knockback.
Wait, sorry, you cut out
cut
right there
out.
for a second.
Okay, if you shoot it at a distance, it will have knockback.
Okay, so range is an important factor. Okay,
What is he? Attacker, defender?
Tank.
tank.
Were you not paying attention?
He's a tank. I forgot. Lewis in our group said he was a. I don't remember. He categorized him as something. The community categorized him as something specific. He's not going to be a main tank. I can tell you that much, because his shield, even though it's portable, he cannot move. He cannot actively move with it. Or maybe once you get used to it, you can. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't see. I see.
Oh, his ult. I forgot about his ult.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Go on.
Caesar, you're the one that knows more about that one.
Okay, so I also think that's where you were wrong about the damage earlier with Tracer. His ult, basically, it's a giant AoE, and if you're in that area, he picks everybody up and he fucking slams you down, and it will do, I believe, half of your HP, half of your main HP, I believe. So that's where, like you were saying earlier, if that's Tracer, that'd be 75 damage for Tracer right there. It looks fucking badass, dude. It looks really nice. It looks like you can set that up with quite a few other combos.
I think so too. I mean, people have always found ways to combine them, so it's not surprising at all.
Not that there's going to be a lot of room for creativity pretty soon. I don't think if they keep going with the way they with things with the way they're going with things right now in the PTR.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
guys. I forgot. There's a few changes. Brigitte got a nerf. Her shield went from 500 to 250, I think.
About
200 to
fucking
250.
Time. Yeah, it's 250.
However, the armor that she gives her teammates is a lot more, is more than it was before. I don't know the actual number. I do know that it gives more armor than before. So, good change in my opinion, because she's not a tank, dude.
She's supposed to be support.
No, here, and that's before we segue into the whole kind of new role format thing, because this kind of connects to the point I was going to bring up, is that something I noticed, and honestly, I wish they would stop creating characters and just start creating more maps. But
right.
One thing I was going to say in response to you, Neuro, is that don't expect them to be bringing out as many, or really, honestly, at this point, probably ever, like any new main tanks, or real like a core tank, or core DPS. Yes, they're going to produce, but or core healers. Because what it seems like they're doing is producing a lot of hybrids, and
yeah.
So on that level, you do get a lot of sandbox. You also get, I mean, you get a bigger sandbox, which can be good and or it can be bad. It's just what it is. But now, if you guys, like someone who knows more about it, you or Cesar, want to talk about the role system, which changes the game completely.
Yes. So there was a change, a massive change in the comp and how comp is going to work. They are essentially saying, "Fuck you guys who want to do your metas." I mean, I'm not. That's pretty much what it is. They are making it to where they force all 6 players to pick. I think it was 2 tanks, 2 damage, and 2 support.
So basically,
believe-
a balanced team at all times.
Yes. The community is not happy with it. They do not like the fact that you are forced to play those roles. Like you can't. You know how there's always a meta. You know how it doesn't usually involve 2-2-2.
Right.
I think the most recent one was the goat comp, which was, if I remember correctly, it's Orisa, Ryan or Roadhog, and like 3 offense or something like that. But it was a mobile team, and I don't think that's possible anymore.
Does competitive have like a ban a person?
They will ban people for toxicity.
No. He's talking about banned characters. No, they don't. David.
No.
Man, I think that was one of the things I liked about Overwatch was how much variety you could bring to the teams and compositions.
I think it has to do with toxic players and throwing, or because we've experienced it. There's always people that want to play that specific role, but they can't play it,
and then they get upset.
Yeah.
So that's just catering to people that are fucking whining then. Because look, if you think about it, someone could still be very toxic. Let's say, because let's face it, if you pick someone like Zen, and then someone else picks what's another healer?
Mercy.
No, I wouldn't say that. Well,
you said healer.
Well, two sorry ass supports, and because I mean that's what Zen is. He's a sorry ass support. You could still be very toxic within those, or Pig Bastion as your DPS. People are gonna get very salty about that, and there's not a lot of room you can do like to work around that.
Yeah, it's a good point. You can only reduce, like I said, whenever you make a certain change, you're gonna have new pros and new cons, and you're never gonna be able to. You're never going to be able to take care of people's toxicity. If they want to be shitty people, they're going to do it. What I see another reason why Blizz might be doing this is because to kind of take over, or basically gain a larger amount of control in their hands on game balance. That's what this is. I think to a certain extent, they want to have more control in that area. So it comes down to, rather than players balancing their own strategies, it's going to come down to working within Blizzard's new rules on how to balance strategies. So like I said, this is not going to get rid of toxicity. This is not going to get rid of metas. This is just going to develop new metas.
Yeah, go for it, Mark. Yeah, go for it.
So when you guys talk about toxicity, is it in terms of like breaking rules, or is it about like people just like trolling and being bad players?
People being assholes.
Yeah, it's about people trolling mainly. Like, for instance, the example they brought up, if, for instance, I want to play, I want to play Widowmaker because I'm not a good Widowmaker. It doesn't matter. She's a sniper, by the way. So I don't care. Fuck my team. I'm going to play what I want to play. And then the rest of my team has a problem with that. Then suddenly you breed toxicity because I'm going to, and if I don't get to play the character I want to play, maybe I'll just throw the match.
So like anything that puts other players into a bad mood, pretty much.
It's more nuanced than that.
It could be shit talking too.
Yeah.
Blizzard has always
one bad apple ruins the bunch. So like they don't want anybody like ruining the fun, sort of.
They're trying to get rid of a certain type of toxicity, I think, in that vein. They're trying to get rid of, and also maybe, like I said,
I think they're trying to get rid of stage 4 cancer.
Well, I mean, like I said, you're not going to get rid of toxicity. You're just changing the type of toxicity and or the capacity or the way that people can be toxic.
They've been trying to do this since the game started, so
yeah, makes sense.
If people want to throw, the base point is that if people want to throw, they're going to fucking throw if they find a reason to. This comes down to literally you're either a shitty player or you're not, you know,
The
or
banning
rather, yeah. Sorry.
the banning system that Rainbow Six Siege and other games have made honestly would help a lot in Overwatch competitive.
There's too many characters to make a ban list like that.
You could take off Brigitte and stuff like that. I think it could be fine.
Brigitte won't be a problem anymore, though.
Oh yeah, but
I
then
mean,
the
she
ban
shouldn't
shouldn't
be.
be, but she wasn't like OP. I would say
You could take out metas from
because
the
it's not like you had to have her in a team to guarantee victory.
I don't know
Right.
what was that? What was that? That corner fortress team that I can't remember what comp this was. It was Brigitte, Orisa, Bastion, and
Oh,
Baptiste.
I don't even want to talk about it. Leave me out of that one.
Basically,
speaking of
what they would do
Brigitte,
is what's up?
sorry, go on.
No, I'm just saying with that comp right there is basically all you did. It was fairly mobile. You would go from checkpoint to checkpoint, sit yourself in a corner, literally, and just you have 4 people in a corner, who are all essentially making Bastion indestructible, so he can go into turret form and just gun people down. That was the idea.
Now, speaking of those 3 Titans, can we talk about Attack on Titan season 3, the season 3 finale?
What happened?
I haven't even watched it. I watched like those
Okay.
spoiler videos, but no.
Okay.
I haven't watched the
Wait. Before you start talking, Alex, just give us the short of it, please.
No.
No, I want to play by play, man.
No.
I
That's
don't
what
want to
you're gonna
sit
get.
here for another hour and
Dude,
then finally
look,
move on to the next.
You're gonna get a
thing.
summary of every single episode.
I want
It's
him
like
reading
28
off a fucking
episodes.
transcript.
All right, but anyways, we missed since the last podcast because I know we're a little late. It's been 3-4 weeks? 3 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks.
The last episode was the basement scene, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
So
I
what's
just-
happening now?
I wanna-
How did it
real
end?
quick. I want to recap a little bit on the basement. You remember the last scene where it
Yeah,
showed?
we talked about the.
Yeah, the recap
Okay.
where shows Aaron's dad with another family. I was like, that's fucking Zeke.
Cheating ass motherfucker.
And I was like, if that's Zeke, I'm going to flip out. What do you fucking know? The next episode where it's talking about Aaron's, I forgot his name. What's Aaron's dad's name?
Grisha.
Okay. Shows about
Grisha
his
Jaeger.
past life, mentions his son Zeke, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, dude, I flipped out that episode. Anyways, it goes on to where they actually start working to get to that other town. I don't think they've actually mentioned what it is. They just mentioned that they have another wall and that they're trying to get there. They don't really face any challenge other than, I guess, Aaron's memory. And they're excited that they're finally getting there and seeing, what's going on. They find out that they were intentionally trying to kill them off to steal their supplies. Anyways, they make it over there. They go over the wall, and Aaron is like fucking destroyed, dude, because there's a big ocean. Everyone's happy because it's the first time they've seen an ocean, and Aaron's like, fuck. Because they have to find a way to get over that ocean to get to that village. And if I remember correctly, it's a huge ocean, man. It's like an island.
Right.
So it's basically like you're finding out that your terrorists are not so much terrorists, but your whole fucking country's at war.
Yes. Omar, I don't know if you remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, we're still trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says something like that, and
right.
he just his
Because
face expression.
the people on the island haven't evolved. Like technically, they haven't. They're not technologically advanced, and the people on the mainland are. Like they have planes and cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I just want to say on a side note, and even though I haven't watched through it yet, and I have not read any of the manga or anything, but I was actually scared, from originally watching the show, like through season 1. I was scared kind of the direction it was going to take. And from everything I've heard and the little bit that I've seen, I appreciate that it's now turned into like this much larger in scope, kind of like dark political fantasy involving a lot
Oh
more
yeah.
players and shadow wars and I don't know. It just
I will tell you this.
I was just saying it's I appreciate it, and I'm actually excited about getting through it.
I will tell you this. First season, character development. Second season, world building. And it's a little slow, but it's still good. It starts to pick up a lot by season 3, part 1. And then it gets, towards the end of season 1, it starts getting to like all the good shit. Like
You mean
everything
season 3?
starts. Well, it's season 3, part 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess technically still season 3, but
I definitely do
starts-
feel like from what I've heard that in season 3 it really starts,
everything comes together. You don't feel like you missed out. You don't feel like you missed out on anything because they've introduced all the characters very well, in my opinion. Everyone has a backstory for the most part.
I guess the only people missing are like the higher ups from like the mainland, but that's not going to take too long to.
Yeah.
And supposedly, Caesar, I think you're the one that told me season 4 might be the last one. You were speculating
I'm
that it would be?
Not sure. Yes, it very well could be.
Can't wait, man.
There's not a whole lot left, but I'm gonna tell you, you guys are in for a ride.
I know. Oh, sorry.
Even with all these revelations, you guys are still in for a fucking ride. So just fucking hang on and enjoy it.
Anyways, that's Attack on Titan season 3. If you haven't even watched it, like Liquid, I recommend it. It
Honestly,
doesn't.
I do want to watch it, but honestly, especially if the whole thing is going to be ending soon, kind of like within the next year, I mean, me personally, this is just the way that I do it. I like binge watching shows from beginning to end. I almost kind of want to wait for the entire thing to come out so I can just watch it all the way through.
So
I don't think it
watched
would
the
be within like a
first
year.
season,
No? Oh yeah,
watched
probably
the
not.
first
Probably not,
season,
honestly.
and they took
Sorry?
way too long to come up with the second season. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
stopped watching.
Yeah,
What,
they
2-3
did.
years?
So I'm
Roughly.
like on Liquid now. So it's like I'm gonna just wait till it finishes off, and then maybe I'll just binge watch the entire thing because I did like it a lot. Like I like the character development. I like the character development a lot. Aaron's a little bitch. I like how they all have their distinctive roles.
Wow. Okay.
But no,
Damn.
he's a bitch in the first season. I like Aaron a lot because he's an adept strategist, and he thinks through things pretty clearly.
But he's a
And then
bitch.
Misaka is just a badass. So
Oh wait, you mean Armin?
or Armin, yeah, is that his name?
We know who doesn't watch.
Armin.
Wow. Casual.
All right, we
But-
could with season 3 out of the way of Attack on Titan. Let's bring up Demon Slayer, man.
Demon Slayer.
Have you get? I know Lovego and Omar are probably the only ones that have kept up with this at all.
Yeah, I have.
It's gotten really good, man. It's getting a lot more dark.
Yes.
Really?
You want to talk about it, Omar?
I think I like it, but I think their actual like character development is maybe throwing it off a little because you have obviously the protagonist trying to protect like things like just the monsters and trying to get his sister back into being human, and then you have like this one kid who's kind of wimpy and doesn't even know
That's
much
a
to
Demon
begin
Slayer.
with, and it's a little weird right now, I think, as far as characters, main characters.
I think it's fun.
I agree. The character development has been kind of.
How long has this show been out? How long has it been running?
There is, I think, 12 episodes.
Yeah, I think
That's
13.
No, they're not 16.
Okay, all right.
There's 16
So it's still
episodes.
pretty close to the beginning.
I think
Or is
it's
it a
nearing
smaller story?
I don't think so. It's talking about these 12. I don't remember the names, but it's these 12 basically leaders that are under this one guy.
Who
And
is the guy that can turn people into monsters? for demons.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
the
wait. So
60
is it one of those
medicines.
things to where it's like the protagonists are going through and wiping out all of those 12 leaders, kind of like a
He's
Yes.
gonna
monster of the week or
start,
month
yes.
type deal? Okay, I got you.
That's basically it. I did want to mention that it gets darker. There's a lot
Mhm.
more gore. Well, compared to at first, there's a lot more gore.
Definitely,
It's
yeah.
it's getting more serious. This next episode, I think, is going to be a little more dark. I don't know how they plan to. It seems like they're making these characters uh
I'm
strong for absolutely no reason.
I do like that there was a reference to his father, because of the earrings that he wears, which are the same.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I've
yeah.
seen that. Well, I'm reading
And
from-
apparently his father's, I guess, pretty badass, and so that's why the main guy, the main villain who makes demons, like, knows about him.
All right, so Liquid, are you interested in watching that? I don't think it's
What,
for everyone.
you talking
Demon
about Demon Slayer?
Yeah, it's absolutely definitely not for everybody. It is
I mean,
one of
I
those
I think I
niche.
checked it out briefly. I will check it out again to give you a better answer, but
I will tell you, the use of CGI is I like it a lot.
Yeah.
that's the thing with watching, different anime. That's where I kind of get hung up. Is I'm a stickler for art, not only animation but also just the artistic style in general. So that in a way, like even regardless
I'm a
if
fan of that.
a certain show or the comics, manga, whatever, have like a really solid story. If the art looks, like if the art looks any number of certain ways, sometimes it's hard for me to get past that.
some
And I know
animes
that's a
have
failing, but
some animes
No,
have been using the art CGI, and one of them is Fire Force. And
Do they
I'm
use
honestly-
CGI?
yeah, I noticed it. The train was moving in.
Oh yeah.
every show nowadays,
I'm not too
uses some
big
type of
on
CGI.
on the CGI in anime. Honestly, I like the traditional anime
Uh,
art style.
I think because
Um,
traditionally it hasn't been implemented too well. I mean, there's probably very select few that it has. It does look definitely good in Demon Slayer, and in Fire Force, I didn't even notice that it was CGI until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But I'm with Liquid on this one though. Like, style is very important to me. It's kind of like one of the biggest reasons why I don't watch like I only watch dubbed anime just because I like to pay attention
Ew.
to the animation. No, but like the animation is like so important to me. Like, yeah, I don't want to spend my time reading subtitles. And
Dude, that's why you gotta unlock your
the
shotgun,
animation.
bro.
it's something
What?
you get.
Yeah, man.
It's something you get the hang of really easily, man.
Yeah, you just like read it while watching it. It's just, and you don't even realize you read it, and you already like
Yeah.
you're like, huh?
Well, that's the thing.
How did I even read? I never even thought I read that.
There's a couple
Casual.
points. There's a couple points to be made here. Is that Mark has a point in the area of even if it's like unperceptible to you, sometimes imperceptible, whatever.
Honestly, I don't even know. If it
Like
was
sometimes when you're watching subtitles, you do miss even for a split second. You look away from the image on screen to read
Yeah,
words. You're gonna maybe miss some things.
like
But
in My Hero
at the same time,
Academia,
also
like in My
another
Hero
counterpoint to
Academia.
that is that some people just enjoy and naturally read subtitles. Others don't. Me personally, I don't mind subtitles at all,
Well,
and
like
I'm just used to it.
I love reading subtitles when there's a substantial story. Like in like all the other Netflix shows that I watch, I always use subtitles to like just make sure I can follow what's going on. But in intense battle scenes and stuff like in My Hero Academia, I don't want to spend time reading subtitles when I want to see these characters fighting. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
That-
dude, if you're
fine.
watching My Hero or My Hero dubbed, you're doing yourself a disservice, dude.
Yep.
why?
I mean,
Wait.
He agrees.
Why?
dude.
You disagree with it as soon as he said My
because
Hero.
just okay. Besides, you have the image on screen. You also have the story that's maybe in subtitles. You also have another very important aspect. It's part of the audio, which are voice actors, and certain voice actors are just better than others and epitomize characters better. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
I'm talking about the animated style.
Midoriya
All right, guys, we seriously need to move on.
No,
We need to
I'm
move on
talking
from
about
this.
All Might
Wait,
specifically.
All right.
I do
it's-
want to
it's
say
derailed like big time.
I do want to say how do you focus on like how do they talk during fight scene? I don't know how. They must,
What do you
All right,
mean?
we can move on. We can
Yeah,
explain this
dude.
later.
Yeah.
Why are
Fire
you gonna
Force.
get deeper into that?
All right, I want to talk about Fire Force. I want to start off by talking about the episodes and then the unfortunate incident. Now, episodes 1 and 2 have been they were polished really well for being I know that they have to try their ass off, but in a lot of anime, you don't see this level of quality. And I remember specifically talking about the teaser and hoping that it would stay this way, and so far it has. Now, character development wise, we only really know about the main character. We don't know
I can't really say that there is any development yet, just because they're still introducing characters.
No,
It's
I'm
still
talking
really
about
fresh.
I'm talking about for the most part, we've only learned about the main character.
Yeah, there's a tiny bit of backstory for the main character.
Yeah, but I
we-
wouldn't count that as development though.
Well, in episode 2, we know his drive. Episode 1, we know that he wants to join because of the fire,
Yeah.
and he wants to be a hero. It is a
Well,
shonen
six-
at the end of the day, so we know he's gonna be the badass. But
Kind of on the side, isn't this a story about people who put out fires using fire or something like that?
No.
it's
It's
There's
okay.
a difference.
So
It's-
it's
Go
literally
ahead.
just people, and then they just burst into fire and they become monsters, and they're fire monsters, and the goal of the fire force is to extinguish the fire, which is the monsters.
Oh, that's a very great description, CG Lovego. Let's
Oh,
give
okay.
it.
okay. People
Okay,
burst
I mean-
so hold on.
people-
I'm gonna explain it.
All
Oh
right.
my god!
First, you have people that don't have any superpowers. They just use equipment and they literally they just use that equipment and put out these monsters. Then you have second generation, which have some sort of limited ability to mess with fire. And then you have third generation people who are stronger and actually use fire a lot, like very powerful flames.
Not only use but can create willingly.
Yeah. So yes,
Right, okay.
so some
So
of
you-
these people do fight fire with fire.
So you have progressive levels of psychokinetics. I got you. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, people do combust into flames. They go out of control. They lose their humanity. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
And their job is just to, essentially just kill them.
right,
But-
and they more or less kind of make it into, I don't want to say a religion, but kind of like a ritual. And that's a wrong word for it too. They just
Prayer.
treat it very respectfully.
Wait, who treats what?
The
Fire Force.
firefighters.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Right.
Aren't they called Fire Force?
Yeah. You also have to
Right.
remember that it's part of like Japanese culture to treat stuff like that. So I mean to them it would be more like that. To us it'd be a lot more destruction.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
True.
Well, no, they just treat natural forces with more respect traditionally.
Now there wasn't too much to talk about for these 2 episodes, but the bigger thing is Kyoto Animation, the studio that works on Fire Force, had an arsonist burn their studio building, killing 25 people?
Nope, it was actually at the very least 33 people.
I thought it
Ouch,
was actually
that's
more.
even worse.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
you're right. 33 people.
They were
Uh,
a very enthusiastic fan. It sounds like.
No, it's an arsonist.
They're
Sorry,
saying
the
that
arsonist.
they stole their work
Plagiarism.
or something like that.
Yeah,
He
he
screamed
was
out.
accusing
He
them of plagiarism.
plagiarized. He screamed out, "Die!"
Yeah, he shouted "die" as he was pouring the flammable liquid. When he was setting it. There's a lot that could have been done. He could have gone a different route.
What I want to
No,
know is
you-
how the
no,
hell
you
does
don't
they actually
say.
allow someone to fucking actually pour that much fucking gasoline everywhere in the building, dude? Like, was
I don't
there
think
no
it was
one
that. It
watching?
was just
Yeah, I think so.
apparently from what I read, it was a very, very quiet neighborhood where nothing really had ever happened, and because of it, their fire codes weren't that strict. And so, let's say that the guy even just cut off like the main exit point, there was gonna be very few routes for people to escape because it was a multi-level building.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's a
no, no.
good point.
No,
Ooh.
What
actually,
I'm saying is, was there no security? How did? Because from what I was reading in the article was that he poured gasoline all over the floor, like on one of the floors, like everywhere in the halls. He must have carried like a few gallons of the stuff. He must have been pouring it for a while. How did no one see him?
It depends on the building too. I mean, some stuff is very flammable, and if their fire codes weren't that strict, it would just make stuff worse.
well, I
Real
do
quick.
want to say that in Japan there hasn't even been such a mass. This is the most killed, I think, since World War II, or most something. But I know it was like since World War II.
It's the most horrific event since World War II.
Yep.
Yeah, so that just lends
The-
into the point that Omar made, is that fire codes and everything. Basically it's just
Well-
not in their, you know.
It's not fire codes, but it mainly crimes are low.
I do want to say the fire was with what is it? How do you pronounce it? Petrol?
Petrol.
Petrol? Okay. Yeah, the effect was like a bomb. So that was
Yeah, it's an
the
explosive gas. It's just like gasoline. It's, I mean,
no, I was
well,
gonna
no,
say
no,
that's
gasoline
why the
doesn't
explosion.
combust like that. I guess, yeah. So
That was why it caused so much damage. Out of 70 people in the building, 36 have reportedly been taken to the hospital.
you got to think, just in events that happen like that, it's not even that the guy wasn't seen doing it. It's that even if he was seen, people don't respond kind of like you would in retrospect. Like, oh, this is, you know, this guy's doing this act and this is going to happen as a result. They don't know what the guy's been doing. They don't know what's going to happen as a result. So some people just act in a confused fashion, and some people, I mean, people react all different types of ways.
Well,
You know?
if you pour gasoline or petrol through the hallway, then
It's the same thing. Gasoline is petrol.
Anyways,
I'm
those
just saying, in many extreme situations, people don't always do or respond,
oh yeah,
you know, intelligently.
that in times of panic, no one really thinks, or most people don't
Exactly.
really think. That's why you see mobs when shit goes down, basically.
Well, no, I'm just thinking it comes to mind, you know, like for instance, with 9/11 and the one hijacked airplane, blah blah blah. You had how many people up there with box cutters? Now, if all the passengers knew the end route of what was going to happen, you figure they would have all jumped up and kicked the shit out of, like, what 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes with box cutters, if they knew that someone was going to crash the plane into, you know, into the ground, into a building. It doesn't matter. The fact that they didn't know what was going to happen, so people did not know what to do or how to react.
Yeah, it's
They were
just a very
confused.
unfortunate event. I think
Yeah.
hopefully they just learn from this and up their security, like everywhere.
I mean, with all these people dead, they've had their work cut down by half, basically. Their staff.
I don't know if the animation studio will go under or
Well,
if it'll
actually,
be able
I
to
don't
continue.
think so.
they paid their animators wages instead of like other companies have been like animation studios have not paid them correctly, basically.
That's off topic, bro.
No, this is
Yeah,
So,
you're about to go
Dr.
down the rabbit
Stone.
hole with that.
Dr. Stone, we have not talked about it. We talked about the teaser again since the last podcast, and there's 3 episodes out now. I am conflicted. I don't know if I like it, but I can't help but keep watching.
You're at the point that I was whenever I basically dropped it in the manga. The only reason I keep watching it at this point is because it's been successful and it's still going on in the manga. It's trending. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with it and just see where it ends up going.
Okay. Those that did not watch it, there is these two obvious main characters. One is a scientist, the other one is a meathead. They get
I wouldn't
frozen.
say meathead per se, but yeah.
He's just your average Joe.
Right.
Your average jock. They get frozen. They get petrified by some green light, and they basically are like that for what did they say, 10,000?
3,600 years, something like that.
It's a long fucking
3,700
time.
years.
Yeah.
And first of all, I thought it was really weird that Dr. Stone was awake that long and counting. He was awake 3,700 years and counting. That's, first of all, that's very strange.
Dude, that's basically like the Japanese version of Malcolm from Malcolm in
Super
the
genius. That's gonna be
Okay,
really.
so
fucking-
they eventually break out because the area that they're in has nitric acid, which is a solution that, de-petrifies them, whatever. They start making their lives. They try to evolve. They save this one guy in, would you say it was in a dire situation that they saved them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would have
basically
died.
cornered by lions.
Yeah.
And what I don't like, I already didn't know how I felt about this show or anime, but considering this guy that they saved is basically set up to be their villain, is strong. He's basically both of them combined, dude.
He's not Captain America.
He basically is Captain America, but with brain.
Almost.
Yeah.
And I don't
Captain
like
America
that.
with brains.
Like I told you, like the main group pretended like they were running away. They made a scene and pretended they were going a different direction, and they went to one specific direction to make gunpowder because that was the only way they were going to beat him. Their intention was to kill them. To kill him. He found out within the span of what seemed like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's like, how the fuck are you going to make a character like that?
Well, to be fair, they made him very instinctually intelligent. I mean, they have to make him that strong to where it would take two people teaming up together to be able to beat him, because it's just one person. Like, let's say the doctor kid, if he outsmarts him, then I mean, it's not really that much of a challenge. Or if the other one happens to be stronger, so I think it's cool the way they went about it, to where they have to be on point with everything because of how fast this guy is at picking up on the little minor details.
Right.
So
I don't know, man.
I think that's pretty cool.
It's bothered me. I don't know yet. I'm going to keep watching it. For now.
All right. The real quick question: whose side would you be on? Would you want to bring every single person back, or would you decide on a certain category? Like
see
the
that guy.
I say kill them all.
See that
Wait,
guy.
sorry, what are we talking about?
With that guy that they saved.
Okay,
that
Mark.
ends up being the villain. He basically wants to kill all the adults. He doesn't even want to bring the adults back because they are corrupt. They're not. They're not
the
pure.
new guy wants like a free world, like an actual free world where you don't own anything and you can like.
Yeah, the only problem with that is it's like that saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. He has very pure intentions, but I don't know. I see that going very wrong very fast. So,
Yeah, I think he could have done it a different way instead of like instantly like smashing the stones, like just like talked it out with Dr. Stone instead.
Well, you could tell that his background, that he was abused and he already had a negative idea of adults because of that.
Yeah, true.
We'll
One
just see
Piece.
how it ends up going, though. Okay,
One
so
Piece. I'll let you guys talk about this. I don't really care for it.
oh, you mean me? You're
Yeah.
welcome. All right, so they're finally in the Wano arc, which is supposed to be the biggest fucking war arc fucking ever. And for anyone that watches it, I've said it. I think I said in the last podcast that I brought this up. Marineford is easily one of the best arcs to a lot of people because of how hardcore the.
Right there, real quick. Did you identify what you were even talking about? Did I miss that?
Yeah. One Piece.
Yes.
Okay, all right. One Piece.
Okay.
I just didn't hear that. Sorry.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Anyways, Marineford is supposed to be like one of the best arcs, and according to the creator, this is supposed to make that look like child's play. We're finally here. In the manga, they're getting pretty well into that now. I would maybe say they're like not halfway there yet. So it's not at the climax, but a lot of stuff has already happened. Personally, I know most of you guys haven't watched it. I definitely recommend you pick it up, maybe even at the Marineford War arc, which is halfway. That's what a lot of people do is they pick it up halfway, or they pick it up at the newest arc, and then they'll just go back.
I was about to say, I don't think I would pick up something that's gonna take me 3 years to catch up watching an
I
episode.
mean, it's not going
every
to
day.
take you that long. Maybe a few months. But I mean, if you want to watch good content for a while, then that's the perfect show for you.
You're a liar.
Nope. It's one of the highest rated series for a reason, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Like
you
I said,
already.
yeah, people like what they like, you know. So
Fucking haters.
Anyways, enough of One Piece of shit. We can move on to.
All right, motherfucker.
oh damn.
I got you. I got you.
We can move on to the Stranger Things season 3. I know most of us here have watched it. Everyone but Liquid has pretty much watched it. Come on,
Wow.
what did you guys
Wow.
think?
Favorite season so far, honestly.
Okay, I got a question
Really?
to start this off.
Yes.
I got
All
this
right.
question to
What's up,
start this off is based off a meme that I saw. But
Okay.
so there were like 3 teams: the Scoop Troop. What was the other 2 teams? What were the other 2 teams?
I don't know them by
Scoop
name,
Troop.
dude, but
Fuck,
You
hold
don't
up.
want to
It's
saw
going
the
on my
meme,
Twitter.
Mark.
It's on my Twitter. Hold up real quick. I'm gonna find it right now. Hold this.
30
up. Hold that
minutes
thought. You guys
later.
should talk.
Dang,
You
Mark,
guys-
all
you
right.
had this ready.
So anyway,
Okay. So it's the Scoop
this
Troop.
guy.
Okay, it's the Soup Troop. Go for it, Mark. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's the Scoop Troop, the Griswold family, and then the Eagle's Nest. So the Scoop Troop is Dustin, Robin, Erica, and Steve. And then the Griswold family is basically all other guys minus Dustin. What is it? Fuck. The 11. What the other 2 girls' names? Nancy and Max, and
Dude.
then that other dude's name I can't fucking remember off the top of my head. Fuck. And then
Keep going.
Eagle's Nest is the adults, which is Hopper, Joyce, and then the conspiracy theorist dude who I also can't remember the name of. But anyways, Scoop Troop.
We forgot about Alexei?
Eagle Nest.
Oh,
how
dude, how
could
could you
you?
forget about Alexei?
How could you?
Alexei was
Cold-hearted.
Wow.
Alexei was easily the best
Alright.
character in that season.
Wow,
Let's start-
Mark.
Okay, let's start this segment out on talking about which team would you want to be part of? Scoop Troop, Griswold family,
Scoop Troop,
or
dude.
Eagle's Nest?
Oh,
Scoop Troop all the
definitely
way.
Scoop Troop.
Scoop.
Scoop
I
Troop
think
was
they
easily
have
the
the-
best one.
They
Yeah.
had the most fun. I think they had the most fun out of all of them. Everyone else kind of like went through hell, but Scoop Troop like smart, had a lot of fun, got drugged up.
Okay, well here I'm gonna say I have to go
Oh,
with
you would
Eagle's
like
Nest.
that group.
The older people.
Wow. But anyways, they had the most fun. So definitely
I'll-
Scoop Troop.
See, a lot of people thought that season 3 was the worst one.
I can definitely relate to that, honestly.
I like it.
I
See,
liked it too, but I just felt I don't know if it's the fact that maybe it just felt a little all over the place or
was.
It did, yes.
a little disorganized.
I want to
But
say,
what's up?
I thought big shit was gonna go down. I thought the Mind Flayer was actually coming out.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna.
I thought
Be a
I
lot
thought the
more eventful.
actual
Well,
beast,
they
whatever it
put
is.
a lot of more emphasis on the Russians and their involvement in the Cold War and the historical implications of this
Oh, no,
time.
I get it.
So,
I didn't expect it to go this route.
Yeah.
but,
Mhm.
yeah, like it was supposed to be more of like a coming of age too, I thought. So like with like them not being kids and
Cutting out
kind of
Mark.
like really well. It was supposed to be more of a coming of age, like them coming to terms with growing up and like leaving the past behind. A lot about like moving forward, moving on. finding herself, like the whole idea of her becoming her own person and creating her own identity. And there were a lot of themes that were actually really elaborate and really like shown in throughout the whole thing. But I think there was a lot more focus on those story aspects than there were the actual Stranger Things, which is what it was really known for. And it was just more of like the conflict of the Russians and the return of the Mind Flayer, but nothing really too new was incorporated.
So you're saying it was a lot more character driven than plot driven.
Right, exactly. So more
Okay.
character driven and more focused on character and developing of like the team aspect. I thought Dustin was separated from the guys way too long. And that's something I felt bad about season 2 is that 11 came in super late. You know, like in terms of being incorporated.
She wasn't the main
Yeah,
character.
but she also had her own little side solo journeys, which was pretty cool. But speaking of side solo journeys, how'd you guys feel about Billy?
Oh, dude, that was his whole character arc in Redemption was really bad. It was for a really great character. I thought they gave Hopper a good sign off too. Like if he did not survive, I think his sign off was the best.
Oh, that boy's dead.
In TV history. Like that was the best sign off for a character or written off for a character in TV history. Like they did him justice. And the way he died, the way the letter came in to tie the bow at the very end, like, you know, him being like, dude, it was the perfect end to Hopper's chapter. However, I can see how they can bring him in. I was in tears, dude. That was a really good ending. Like the ending really was I think it was the best Stranger Things ending of all 3 seasons, even despite like the ups and downs of this season.
That was the character that, and Neuro, maybe Cesar, if you guys were seeing my wife's posts, is that the character who she got a shirt of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So let's talk new characters. So what did you guys think of Rob and Erica?
You're cutting out too much, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, what the
Get better internet, bro.
I don't know. I thought Robin was okay.
I thought
she
a lot
was
of people liked her.
She was good for, I mean, because clearly Dustin and what's that dude's name? John
Steve.
Ralphio's little brother. Yeah, Steve. They needed an intelligent person in their group because clearly Steve does not have. Steve's a wild card, and then Dustin, he's just like quirky, I guess. So they needed the brains, and she played that role pretty well. She's a pretty good character.
Yeah.
Comedic too, bro.
Honestly, Steve is probably my favorite character of them all. So like his character wasn't really developed in the first season, but like as he's progressed, his character has become much more elaborate. And I think that what they've done with him has been really cool. Especially even though he broke it, like he started boyfriend and then they broke up, but now he's like got his own core like relationship within the group, you know? And
it got shattered pretty bad. It's I would say the shattering almost compares to your internet connection.
You just cut out when you said that.
Okay. What did you guys think about the very like last thing that no one's mentioned so far, and that is 11 losing her abilities?
Oh, I knew you were gonna bring this up. Okay, so like I don't understand how she lost her abilities because she was able to get the thing out with her abilities, but she was just so weak that she was unable to recover them back. I don't understand how she could just all of a sudden lose her power.
I think she just snapped something inside her brain.
Exhaustion.
Yeah, I think she just went too far. Too many times.
But I don't think it's just not gonna just go away all forever.
It might not. But
I think it's very tied to her emotions because whenever she has used them, she's been very upset. So losing a somewhat father figure has definitely messed with her personality and her mood, and I think that has a lot to do with her powers.
Didn't she lose the ability to use her powers before she found out Jim was dead, though?
I think it was after.
No, it was before that because she tried to move.
No.
It was before that.
It was before, but I think after it's still messing with her, anyways.
Wasn't it after she pulled the fucking whatever that
Yeah,
thing was
Mhm.
off her leg. After that, she couldn't use it anymore.
I think she just exhausted her abilities, and then
Or-
something inside is just
I think
it's
that
gone.
I say okay. So I was a little weirded out. They didn't explore the aspect about them having more experiments, and like they did introduce 8 in the last season, but they didn't bring any more experiments into this season. But
I'm okay with that.
they did announce that there will be a 4th season, but unlikely a 5th season, so that this next season that has been renewed is going to most likely be the last one. But I think this is just a theory of mine, but like Eleven getting her powers back is probably going to be incorporated with her coming in contact with another experiment.
I think I would be okay with her not getting her abilities back, even though like it's somewhat of a silver lining that okay, you no longer have your abilities, you can be a normal person. She realizes that it's such a big part of who she is that it really like affected her. I don't know. I would be okay with her not having her abilities back, but I think it would have been better if that happened at the series finale instead of this season's finale.
So maybe what if her powers are like trapped behind the gate? Like when they closed the gate, her lost her powers.
I don't think so, but that would be neat. I think she might end up getting her abilities back. What do the rest of you guys think?
I honestly think she's gonna get them back. There's no way they're gonna be gone forever. The same way Hopping
Yeah,
has
she
to be
has
gone
to.
forever. It's too much. It's her identity. She's been branded with them. It's just like it's who she is. It's gonna come and it's gonna come back in a miraculous way. So like I said, like maybe that she's gonna come into contact with another experiment who's gonna find a way to like reactivate her power, something like that. You know what I mean? Um, and I think they really had an opportunity to explore the idea of them being more experiments, but they didn't really explore that too much. They went more with the political aspect with this
I
season,
think they
which
could do
is
a spin-off
very
series
odd.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could, but I don't think the Duffer
Um,
Brothers are interested in expanding on it. I think they really want to keep the story finite and really like end it with like once the '80s end, they want to end it with like um, they like every single episode or every single season. It's more so like they're creating it like sequel they're like series long movies rather than being seasons to a show. They're like that's why they're like Stranger Things 1, Stranger Things 2, Stranger Things 3. So like keeping it at a quartet and really giving it a definitive ending, I think that's going to do good. And I think them taking out side of Hawkins is going to be even better too.
all right, really fast before we move on, who do you guys think was behind that cell?
Oh, the American?
Do
I
we
think
have
it's a
it?
new character.
I
That-
just one
There's
guess
two
is really
theories. There's
fast.
2 theories. It's either
Hold
going to be
on, Mark.
11.
Hold on. Okay, just give me very short answers so we can move on because we're falling behind really badly. Omar, you said you think it's a new character?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
I don't know.
Okay.
We
Uh,
haven't been given any character other than maybe to think of Hopkins. That's it.
Okay. You, Mark?
So there's 2 theories. It's saying it's Eleven's dad, Papa, or it's Hopper. There's 2
Okay.
theories, but
I
my
don't think
money's
it's
on
either.
Hopper.
All right. What about you, Love Go? Who do you think it is?
I really don't know.
I can't even hear
New
you, bro.
character?
Okay. I would ask you, Rob, but I know you haven't even watched the series yet.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's me.
Oh shit!
It's a new character.
He's gonna be
it's
like,
me.
Damn.
They're
Hey,
gonna open the cage.
congratulations
I was
on the
right.
contract, bro.
They're gonna
I'm
open the
very
door and
proud.
he's gonna be
Thank
like,
you, man.
"Hey guys, I'm Liquid."
You can
Yeah, guys,
finally fund us.
I forgot to tell you guys, but it'd be Captain in Stranger Things 3 or Stranger Things 4.
The what?
I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you guys, but it'd be casted in Stranger Things 4
Yeah, whatever, dude.
in an undisclosed role.
His Dark Materials.
Okay, so they released a new trailer at Comic-Con, and I believe none of you assholes have watched it, right?
I did.
Okay.
Whoa. What are you talking about?
Keep in mind, I have not read the book,
Oh, that's
Me neither.
so
fine,
I
that's
don't
fine.
know really what's going on.
Okay,
but
what did you notice that was different from the first trailer?
dude, I don't even remember the first teaser trailer. I know
Okay, it's definitely something that they didn't show in the first one.
it looks like animals are involved heavily in this, though.
Okay,
Well, it's
so
because they're
I'm just gonna
connected
give you a
to
quick
humans.
explanation, and there are 3 sentient or intelligent beings on this planet. You have your humans, you have your demons, which are connected to all human beings, and then you have the third, which is polar bears. Polar bears are fucking intelligent beings like humans. They're actually, I think,
So they're not going extinct like in real life.
no, breaking my heart, Omar. That one hit really close to home. But yeah, so polar bears, they are a living intelligent race, and they reside in the north with all the ice and shit. They all have badass armor that they make that I think supposed to protect you from shit like bullets. It's like the highest grade steel that you can make. They're bad motherfuckers. It's fucking cool. I was really hyped whenever I saw Ioric Bernenson. It's fucking dude. I'm fucking pumped for this shit.
Can we just appreciate that Professor X is gonna be here? James, how do you say his name? James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
McAvoy. Can we just appreciate him in this? I've liked him in all the things I've seen him in.
Dude,
I think
X2
he's a good
is up
actor.
in this bitch too, bro.
Who?
X2?
X2?
Isn't that Wolverine's daughter's name?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
You didn't
right.
notice that, did you?
damn. I'm gonna expect her to bring out her freaking claws.
So the whole thing about that is because HBO is owned by what is it? I honestly think it's probably because of some media deal. Like they got both of the actors because they've worked together, or they work in the same franchise, or they are part of the same media company. So
Well, I noticed HBO usually hires a lot of British actors.
oh yeah,
So that could be a thing.
Warner Brothers. They're owned because HBO is owned by Warner Brothers,
No, they're owned by Time Warner.
which is Warner Brothers. Time Warner.
Time Warner.
Warner Media.
Okay. Anyways, all right,
Warner
we're
was
moving
by
on
Warner
to
Brothers.
movies. We're moving on to movies. Endgame finally did it.
Oh,
I have
they
not
finally
seen
beat.
it, so I am.
Oh no, we're not
muting
gonna spoil. We're not gonna spoil.
I'm muting myself.
We-
Okay, all right.
We already
So,
talked
no,
about this.
I
It
did
has
watch
Hold on,
Far
Mark.
From Home,
Hold on.
Endgame has officially surpassed Avatar in #1 grossing movie
Yep. Worldwide.
worldwide. They
I mean,
got
I'm just gonna say it's the fact that it took a box office release this long to do is I don't know, it's kind of telling to me, but
honestly, it's because look, the only reason Avatar made it, because honestly, I didn't think it was that great of a movie.
people.
It
You're a
was
loved it
fucking
too.
hater, bro.
Okay,
No,
okay,
like
look,
the whole
Avatar.
plot
Okay,
story
honestly,
wasn't that good.
I honestly don't think Avatar was as great as a movie. The only reason is that
Cutting
James
out, bro.
Cameron is named.
That's karma
Don't-
right there for talking shit about Avatar.
The only reason it made so much money is that James Cameron's name attached to it, and he made the highest grossing movie prior to Avatar, which was Titanic. That was it.
You also
No.
have to keep into consideration like the CGI and like the theme of the movie.
Yeah, it just wasn't
yeah,
because of his
okay,
name.
it was
Yeah,
groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was a
His
fucking
name
beautiful
is definitely
movie.
not gonna be grossy.
Let's keep in mind they created their own language for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but a bunch
they
of
did that for Game of Thrones
projects
too.
have done
So
that. Yeah.
like,
Okay.
they did that for Game of Thrones too.
Talk about movies here, okay?
Yeah.
But look, I know this was not on the list. But let's talk a little bit about it. Can I introduce the topic?
About
Wait,
Avatar?
why didn't you put it on the list, Mark?
I forgot about it
About
until we started
Avatar?
talking about James Cameron.
We
Okay.
don't need to talk
the
about
new
Avatar.
Terminator. The new Terminator. He's directing the new Terminator.
I
Okay.
didn't even know New Terminator was coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it
He's
is.
directing the
Dark
new
Fate?
Terminator, and they're bringing back the original Sarah Connor and
Oh yeah, I saw
the
this.
the
I
and the
remember
John
Arnold
Connor from
Schwarzenegger.
the second movie,
No, just kidding.
and the John Connor
Oh.
from the second movie.
Okay.
They're bringing back,
For
like,
those
the original actors.
for those that
And
don't
James
know,
Cameron is
hold
the
on.
one who-
For those that
Terminator.
don't know, like me, it's called Terminator 6: Dark Fate.
Yes.
Dark
So,
Fate,
but
right,
they're
right.
they're bringing back their OG cast members from this, original Sarah Connor, original John Connor, Arnold Schwarzenegger's obviously in it,
Wait, so
and
Amelia Clark's not going to
James
be in this
Cameron
next one?
and James Cameron is directing it.
This looks like it's going to
So,
be more action oriented.
well, they're all.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I know,
Marvel's
but
oriented.
I know, but more.
I think we should definitely move on because we still have tons of
No,
stuff. to
okay,
do.
David,
I just
why are
wanted
you
to
so
bring it up a
quiet,
little
bro?
bit.
You need I don't know if you're far away from your mic or you're laying down, but we can barely hear you.
This
But
trailer
do you
looks.
guys, but
Pokemon
do you
Mewtwo.
guys think? Okay, sorry.
Wait,
Pokemon
let me
Mewtwo
just
Strikes Back
Hold
Evolution.
on, before we move on. Cameron also made a. I guess they congratulated Marvel, and I'm not even gonna try to speak this Avatar language, but he says, "I see you, Marvel. Congratulations to the Avengers Endgame on becoming the new box office king."
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when do you think this is ever gonna be beat?
The next Avatar, bro.
Think about it though. Avatar
But
came out in
anyways,
2009, and it had a budget of $300 million then. Endgame had a budget of $356 million. So
Wait,
it's
what?
roughly the same budget that they had.
Wait, I thought Cameron's production budget on Avatar was like around 500 mil. I thought it was a $500 million. I mean,
They
I
don't
might
have
be
an
wrong about
exact figure because I don't think they ever released it, but it's speculated to be slightly over 300 million.
that. Okay, all right.
well,
I mean, I don't
I'm
care enough to look it up, but yeah.
I'm really hyped for the new Terminator. I think it's going to be good, and I don't know if they do it right. It's gonna possibly.
How do we
I
go
don't
back
know.
to Terminator?
You
I
fuckers
don't
went
know.
back to that shit.
Because
Anyways,
Hold on. The one thing I was
Pokemon
gonna
Mewtwo
say,
Strikes Back Evolution, guys.
the one thing I was
Sweet.
gonna
I didn't
say
even know there was one.
about Cesar, the reason I have something about what I have against Avatar is the fact that once he made that movie, they got licensed and they copyrighted that name, which meant, if anybody has ever heard of Avatar, The Last Airbender, or like one of the greatest cartoons ever made of all time, is that they lost the ability to use that name in other productions.
Ouch.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Really?
Which is fucking
Yeah, that's why
bullshit.
the movie was Last Airbender, not even
On a
Avatar.
strike.
I still fucks with it.
Nah, man, that's
Okay.
unforgivable.
Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
Fucking
Is it a
finally.
remake?
It
Is it a
kind of
remake,
came
like,
out of
for sure?
it kind of came out of the blue. Yes, 100% remake, all CGI.
CGI.
It.
Is
I mean,
Ash gonna be in it?
Yes, dude, it's a remake. It's a
Hmm.
100%.
Are they gonna have the original voice actors?
More than
Fuck
likely
no.
not.
Ugh,
I think
I
it's.
hate
I
the
think.
new voice actors for Misty and Brock. I hate
I
them.
think. I think it's a little bit too unrealistic to expect the original voice actors.
No, I've gotten used to Ash's new voice because I've been kind of like following the new Pokemon cartoons a little bit. I've gotten used to it, but I hate the new Misty and Brock. Like the Misty voice was just so iconic, and the Brock voice was just so iconic. It's just so hard to hear them now in the cartoons.
I don't know.
It just-
Misty was kind of a dumb bitch in the original show.
I know, I understand that, but her voice, though, it's like it's gonna be really hard not to hear that voice again because I heard her voice in Sun and Moon, and I was just like, God.
She's just
I
like,
hated her so much.
Ash!
Anyway, it's all CGI. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I watched this shit originally when I was a kid. I'm gonna fucking watch it, dude. You cannot tell me that you're not gonna watch this if you watch this as a
They
kid.
better have a fucking new Mew card.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that shit. It was like a golden Mew card, right?
It was
Yeah, it's like
actually
a tablet.
purple.
Looked like some fucking
whatever,
dual
dude.
monster shit.
Anyways, that's cool. I hope it does well. But when's the release date? Do they have any?
I don't think
I don't think they have one yet.
Oh no, they don't. Oh no. It was July 12th for Japan.
Wait, it's out already?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I give it a couple months.
They gotta dub it.
Now, okay. Done with all that. We can move on to tech. I don't want to spend too much time on it because most of this has already been out for at least a week and a half. The one big thing is Zen 2, which is Ryzen AMD. Their stock their supply has not been able to keep up with the demand. This was to be expected. It's always been like this with AMD.
Yeah.
The price of their 3900X is, because of the supply and demand, has spiked up to at least $704 on eBay.
Ooh,
That's fucking bad.
Right.
Ouch.
From third
What?
party like resellers,
Yeah,
not
yeah. Oh no. What's the MSRP again? Was it like 500?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, we're talking about a $200 increase that people are obviously paying for them to be making these fucking dramatic spikes.
Fuck that.
Talking about AMD, their competition, Nvidia randomly released an RTX RTX 20 series super card,
Yeah,
which is
it's been
sl-
rumored for like a couple weeks.
but it
I thought they
is
said they weren't going to.
what? I thought they were.
Yeah.
It already came out. People already have them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. My bad.
No, wait. Are you talking about something besides the 2060 or the 2070?
No. It's the RTX Super. Oh yeah, 2060 and 2070.
And
Yeah.
They are faster. They use parts that what the brother has. So the 2060 Super has parts from the 2070. 2070 Super has parts from the 2080.
they're TI's
They are. That's
Pretty much.
essentially what they are. Yeah, they're faster. From what I understand, the price of those are going to be the price of the 2060 and 2070, and then the price from the 2060 and 2070 are going to go lower. So I think for a
Competition.
fact this is competition for the Navi that
Yeah,
came out, which
they're
are
trying to attack the
they're
middle road market.
I
yeah,
do think it's
Navi.
gonna work.
Navi is a mid-range card. Obviously, it's going to be a great card, but a lot of people like NVIDIA GPUs, us, included. So I think it's gonna work, honestly, dude.
Oh yeah, same. I really don't. Not hyped up for the Navi.
The problem is you're getting a lot of with both the good parts about these new releases, as well as for instance, with like AMD and the whole scandal about their overclocking, like core
Oh,
clock speeds, and some false advertising and things like that. Um,
Here's hoping it wasn't. It was that they maybe made them too quick and didn't do quality control like they were supposed to.
Well, I mean, that was more so they were testing them on. Well, I mean, I don't know enough, so I don't really want to mention. But I mean, I think it has to do with what the test bench they had them on. The internal test bench was not reflective of what the average user was going to get out of them.
Yeah, but to be fair, we already expected that. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but we expected that big time.
I mean, I maybe expected it to a certain extent, but I didn't. I don't know one way or the other, honestly.
So as far as the RTX cards go, that's it. That's all we really have. And it's going to have everything that an RTX is supposed to have. What is it? Turing, DLSS, and what's the other thing? I forgot what it was called.
Your mom.
Ray tracing. Your dad.
Your
Nintendo
grandfather.
Nintendo recently came under fire for their. Well, I mean, people have been complaining about this since the beginning, but they recently come under fire for their Joy-Con drifting, which is pretty much your left or right stick being stuck on the input of any direction, and it just does that the entire time ever. They came under fire, so Nintendo decided to repair Joy-Cons for free, and they're going to basically honor the price that you paid to fix your Joy-Con as long as you have proof. This is a publicity stunt, obviously. I still think, me and Caesar talked about this, but I still think that.
The fuck is that?
Huh?
Who the fuck is that?
Where's what?
No.
Said, who the fuck is that?
Oh, man, you've answered Caesar so many fucking times.
Nah, bro, I don't know what you're talking about.
Donnie G.
What up?
I'm about to use your full name first. Okay,
go ahead and dox me like that. That's cool.
All right, so Donnie G, me and him talked about I know the Joy-Cons are small. I know there's might not be a lot to do with them as far as fixing goes, but I think there needs to be an actual fix, because if they're just gonna drift and get repaired and drift again, it's going to be annoying.
Yeah, like I said before, though, this is a problem that's been going on with Nintendo since the fucking beginning, since the GameCube. Well, to be fair, the Nintendo 64 controller,
The Nintendo
because
64.
those
Oh,
went to
yeah.
fucking shit. They
No, no,
never
no.
repaired those. The GameCube controllers, yes. If you played a lot of Smash, you would make or Mario Party, your controller would eventually go to shit.
Well, yeah, dude.
But
If you're
people
gonna
have
play
always
Mario
been
Party,
repairing them.
if you're gonna play Mario
Uh,
Party, you're throwing that controller.
Okay.
Well, honestly, also,
I don't think it was such a big
think
problem.
it's just Nintendo, though. I see this as a problem
Yeah.
with a number
yeah.
of companies. I mean, I could
Joystick.
lump
I'm
Sony
drifting
in,
from
in with
PS4.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're a lot more durable than Nintendo's are. I will give them this. When the Wii came out, I think those were the only ones that you didn't really have a lot of trouble drifting with, or with drifting.
The nunchucks.
The 3DS,
People
that
never
one was
played on their
pretty
freaking
bad.
Wii controllers.
Okay. Yeah, on the 3DS, that was a really big problem, like very early on. No one tackled that issue, but I'm glad that
Well, with the
it's
3DS,
finally being raised concern with this, to the point where Nintendo is saying, yeah, we will fix our defective products, and
well,
we're trying to make it better.
Hey,
well, they always refurbish their stuff, but like with the 3DS though, it did make significant improvements from the DSi, which had and like the hinges would crack on the DCi, and their screens would like basically almost like fall off, and that was happening a lot with the DSi, and they did make improvements with the 3DS and fix that, but like with the 3DS, they did have a lot. So they did have a lot of recall in order to fix their like touchscreen capabilities and stuff like that. I don't know. Nintendo's always had, issues with how they actually design their consoles. Not like
Yeah, what this
quality
comes down to
sometimes.
is them with them just designing a more rigorous joystick. Like I said,
Hey,
that's what
maybe
it comes down to.
maybe
Yeah.
you'll be able to control your game with Neuralink.
Speaking of Neuralink,
Oh my god,
Elon Musk.
that segue though.
Fucking
Elon,
reach.
Elon
Okay,
Musk's
here.
presentation, dude. What do you guys think of the Neuralink?
What
As
the
I
fuck
said,
is the neural-
prior to the show, this needs, in my opinion, a podcast all its own. But
I agree.
There you go. Second podcast.
Okay.
no, I mean for at least one session, because you could easily talk
Yeah,
about
that's
this
fine.
subject for I mean, hell, you can't put a time limit on this.
Well, basically, it's a small
Well,
fucking chip. Super. What would you call it? Nano chip? Would
okay.
that be what it's called
It's
at that
not just a
point?
chip; it's a chip and a set of what I'm trying to remember the exact measurement in microns in diameter. But basically, what it is, it's a chip they insert into your head, as well as connected to the chip are a bunch of very, very, very small, fine hair-like wires that feed into and are implanted by a robot into parts of your brain. Now, the robot applies them with such precision that it can dodge all the arteries and capillaries and veins and everything in your brain, and it basically feeds electrode wires into your brain that not only measure response, but also the applications are fucking endless. It's from medical procedures to curing Parkinson's victims to giving people curing paralysis to fixing
Well,
entire sets of organs in your body. That's one of the main first applications that they're working on. But also down the line, if they keep on developing technology like this, they're talking
We're gonna
about
be into Iron
AI
Man
integration.
nanotech.
Wait,
controlling
so
your
let me
smartphone.
get this straight real fast. What you're basically telling me is that we're now entering Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, that's pretty much what it is.
I
That
better
is
see
what it
Keanu
is.
Reeves, dude. I better be able to see him.
Yep.
Unless I can see Keanu Reeves in my brain, fucking no sale, no buy.
Exactly.
All right.
Anyways, this is completely wireless and has years to decades of lifetime, which obviously is really good.
Would you
This
put
is
it
just
in your
really
head?
bad. I just think this is really bad. Do you guys know that the villain in the movie Venom was based off Elon Musk?
Hey, look,
So-
if it
Very
happens, it
revealing.
happens. This is
I'm
the
just thinking
this is
that this is the beginning of the end.
look.
guys.
Wait,
This
to
is
be
here-
fair
I-
though,
that's the thing. On the side of it, with the implications of using it as a medical procedure, that's one thing. But this is where it starts to get dangerous. Is that
Yep.
applying the commercial aspect to normal consumers, and a phenomenon like this, given enough time and given enough sway from different influencers, this could take over entire communities and human populations to where, in order
I
to
had a
integrate,
dream
Like it-
about this.
Okay.
in order
no,
to
Hold
we're
on,
not
integrate
talking about
hold on.
dreams.
I mean,
Okay.
you got people tattooing their eyeballs and losing their eyes. Now, what are they gonna
Oof.
do with this?
Like it's definitely like
What if aliens touch down and start to control us using those
What?
gadgets we have?
Why are you worried about aliens?
Like,
Why aren't you worried about?
Stay to the
All right, look.
Hackers.
honestly.
Let's be realistic.
They can
about
already
This.
hack pacemakers.
Let's be realistic about
Holy
this.
crap.
This is our reality. Technology is always advancing. This is what was going to happen anyways. I mean,
Honestly, you could do some
Ca-
startup online.
nah,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
no,
it'd
no.
go that far.
That's the thing. That's the thing, especially in these stages. I mean, as
I
long
don't
as
see the need
you
for
have,
it. I don't see the need for it. We don't need that
he
shit.
just told you the need for it.
it's
That it'll
it's
cure
not about.
diseases and stuff.
Yes, it's not about want. It's not.
I'm
It's a blending
like
of wants and needs. You're talking about literally redefining what it means to be humans. That's it's no joke when you're saying Cyberpunk 77 with integration of robotics and alien tech, or sorry, artificial intelligence into not only the body but the brain. Being able to
Mhm.
interface with being able to interface with any compatible technology, and you know that they will build more and more forms of compatible technology. Like I said, there's an endless amount of wondrous things you could do with this, and one of the first
Okay, but
applications is
okay,
them talk.
okay.
Hold
First
on,
of
hold
all,
on, hold on, hold
wait,
on.
yeah.
With one of the first applications they're trying to do is to, and they already have monkeys doing this, like on or sorry, not monkeys, apes. They've already
Damn,
tested
them
this,
pussies do that.
They're
and
testing
they
it on
had.
rats. They said that
Bitch.
they might test it on humans next year.
No, they've already done testing on chimpanzees. I know this for a fact. All
Yeah,
right,
well, I know
and
rats too.
okay, rats as well. That's all right.
He
Okay,
said he
So
but
knows
look.
that.
Okay,
the
but
whole
look.
point is
Look.
the fact that one of the first kind of commercial and or wide use applications, and that they geared towards certain audiences, the prospect of, or the idea of at least, is the fact that you'll be able to control, like how you use keyboard and mouse to control things on your PC, and like a controller to control things on your console. Well, you'll be able to use your brain instead. You'll just be able to use a mind connection, not even like a eye tracking software. This is just
Nano chip
thought-based
master
software.
race.
Oh
Just
god.
basically
That's
because
gonna suck for people with ADHD, though.
I'm just thinking about end of days stuff. But anyways, but look, what I was thinking about also just is like, thinking, bringing the marketing perspective and like the accessibility of this product, how expensive it's going to be. And if it was like, and implanting and sort of any sort of artificial intelligence, giving anyone sort of access to any sort of like information, like rapidly on the fly, that's faster than our smartphones. Obviously the
way
brain is
faster.
powerful, is immensely powerful on its own. And putting that into the hands of like, not this kind of technology is not going to be readily accessible to the people on the lower end of the socioeconomic
Just call them what
field.
they
Not
really are, Mark.
So,
Fucking peasants.
not at first.
but I'm just saying that this really does put a dangerous dynamic in terms of like control, and in terms of like, yeah, like you have people on the higher end of the spectrum who are morally innate, and if they have access to technology like this, who knows what kind of things can happen or transpire.
Hey man,
Well,
it's eventually. Hold on, it's eventually gonna happen anyways. If
Yeah, I
he doesn't do it,
understand that, but
hold
I'm
on,
just
hold
saying,
on,
Wait,
Mark. If
it's
he
not
doesn't
him
do
doing
it,
it.
if he
No,
doesn't do it, someone else will eventually create this technology.
No, it's many organizations
You're right.
working
It's
on this
inevitable.
technology.
I'd
It's
rather
gonna
be-
happen no matter what.
Damn
What's
right.
gonna happen is that we're gonna reach. Hold on. Let me talk, please. What's gonna end up happening is that I do think eventually, like Rob is saying, there will be certain areas where you have to have that in order to do stuff like pay for food, pay for this or whatever.
Market the beast.
Scan your
Market
way
the
through certain security doors, whatever.
Market
But
the beast.
hold on, Mark, please, goddamn, dude. So, but at the same time, we're gonna have people that are gonna stray away from that and try to not put any of that in their bodies.
Yeah, probably like
Eventually,
Elon Musk.
hold on, God fucking damn
All
it,
right, we're
please.
gonna have to end this if it's gonna keep going on like this.
Jesus Christ, Mark.
We're already,
Anyways,
we're already way behind.
yeah. Anyways, I don't know. It's gonna bring a lot of diversity and segregation at the end of the day, but it's gonna happen anyways. It will happen. It's something that is inevitable, and so we just have to see where it fucking goes.
Yeah, it's a very divisive topic, I suppose.
It needs to be said that though we do have like I said if we are capable, if our society, our civilization is capable of any type of true democracy, we should have a certain amount of pull and or sway over how widespread it goes. And this also
we need
this not only
regulations.
comes to like corporations and governments and people in power, but this also is a personal decision made by each and every single individual human being on how fast we allow this technology and everything it's capable of, for better or worse, to flourish.
That's gonna be really, really hard because you even now with the internet, like the internet's been out roughly 30 years, and
Nah, it's like 40.
lawmakers are barely catching up.
Oh yeah, no, and there's going to be a huge disconnect there. I mean, even just look at like look at Zuckerberg and the I'm sorry, I don't know his name, the CEO of Google, talking to United States lawmakers, and legislators.
Yeah, you got those videos on YouTube where the
Yeah.
congressmen don't even know what they're talking about. They're asking these ridiculous questions that obviously everyone in our generation, at least 99% of them, will know the answer to, but they don't.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, it's
that's if we
ridiculous.
even make it that far, because
I'm also worried about people being convinced that throwing any type of technology directly connected to their brain without knowing the implications and or consequences of doing so. Because, for instance, if you can interface with all these different types of computers external from you, can those computers interface with you?
Potentially, yes.
No, not potentially. Definitely, they've already confirmed it. That's
Yeah.
one of the functions.
that's fucking
So
cool.
that honestly, that right there, that's all you need to tell me. That scares the shit out of me. That means that if I have a device implanted in my fucking head, that someone else can start controlling that device.
Better start learning how to
You
program,
already
Rob.
got that with your cell phone.
Get
Chinese.
Better
yourself
become a great
Get yourself
hat.
a VPN for your.
No, you just
for
got,
your
like I said, this is
Neuralink.
why this is its own this is its own entire huge subject, because this is one of those.
This is
This
like
is one
some
of those types of
watchdog shit right here.
technologies.
It takes
This-
something
This like
sensitive
this
at a
like
certain
if anybody
frequency.
thought that the internet was a big thing, this blows the creation of the internet out of the fucking water. Put it that way.
But you do understand it just takes something frequency to alter, any sort of information or wave, or to cause any sort of interference
Right?
to
Yeah.
what's going on.
We're
in
about to
your
have
head.
real mind readers pretty soon. Shit.
And honestly, you get like there'd probably be like hundreds of VPNs, like Alex said. There'd be like a lot of security companies getting ready to fucking, protect. That's
That
But
only
that
take
would
you so far, though.
But that
Yeah,
would
that's
be
like-
really.
All right, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
should be the
but I'm
end.
gonna have to cut this. We
Yep.
we delved down way too deep into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, with that last subject.
Told you, man.
If we
That's
want,
why-
I mean,
It's a
we
good
could
subject,
Exactly.
though.
potentially
I understand.
do its
Maybe
own
we shouldn't have
podcast.
taken so long on Attack on Titan.
We didn't.
Honestly, that was a really good subject, and I think our listeners are really gonna get a kick out of that. So.
if they make it.
I understand this is a topic for it has
Its own show.
capability for
For a
its own
second
show.
podcast.
But we gotta
But-
start our outros.
For now,
We'll do a
the-
follow up. We have to do a.
Definitely.
Shut up. For now,
We'll do that on the second podcast.
For now, this is the Casa Gurrya podcast. I'm your host, Alex.
You could find me
Oh,
at
great job, bro.
thanks, dude. Twitter.com/neurotoxis. You can find me at youtube.com/neurotoxis. And that's about it for now. What about you, Don Gurrya?
I actually have a few things. Don't look me up on YouTube. I got my Ses Macho official on Instagram. That's the only spot you can find me right now. There's other links if you go there. Thank you.
What about you, Lovego?
You can find my YouTube channel in the description, my Twitter in the description, my Instagram in the description. I don't
This guy. You-
I
His
don't know what else to say.
You can find it
Lovego's-
all in his description.
Yeah, dude. Lovego's Twitter page is CG Lovego.
You just you
At-
put it in the description. I think that'd be very
You
easy.
can find them on Twitch.
Oh
You can
yeah,
find him on
Twitch. Yeah,
Twitch,
I'll be in the
CG
description.
Lovego.
Oh yeah, that'll be in the description.
Liquid.
You can't find me anywhere. Leave me alone.
Lord Mog.
Off the grid. You can find me on Twitter at Markatilius, on Instagram at Markatilius. It's MarkItilus. I am also on Facebook. You can like my Facebook page at Mark A. Alvarez II the second. You can like my Facebook page there. You can also like my Facebook page, Lightwings Production, and you can follow some of my and read some of my original work at www.lightwingsproductions.com. Also, as a business owner, I also manage a digital marketing agency called Phoenix Media. So if you're in need of expertise or consulting, I am your guy. So you can find me at phoenixmedia.com.
And
We
you can
heard
put
that.
this- and
Omar?
we can put this in the description.
Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube is all Omar09XCI.
Wow, you actually got your own platform.
Or
Nice.
if you want
Yeah.
to find it way easier, you can go in the description.
Shut up. All right. Now the final plug is our own Casa Gurrya stuff.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can find all of our links easily by going to Linktree/Casa Gurrya. If you don't know how to spell it, it's linktr.ee/Casa Gurrya. Otherwise, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can search
Spotify.
those. No. You can search those using Casa Gurrya. Sorry, you can add, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram /Casa Gurrya. Otherwise, on YouTube, you can find us using hashtag Casa Gurrya. No spaces, obviously, for any of this. Spotify as well, iTunes, Anchor, and all your major podcast platforms.
Oh, all of them, huh? So we have
and
a
make
Twitch
sure
up now.
Make sure you follow and subscribe, and find us on SoundCloud and follow and subscribe.